Barrel rolls is the reporter thrown into the secretive world of the Forex Super Model, where nothing is as it seems. Beware the techno-monk, and steer clear of Professor Code and his two assistants. Give the senior trader a wide berth, and don't expect any sense from the risk manager.
Good morning, I'm Professor Code and this is the Forex Super Model daily briefing for Friday the 4th of December 2020. The time is 5:05 in the morning, Asian session just coming to a close, European session kicking off, North American US session are lunchtime. Right, so let's have a look at the flows yesterday. Right, so what have we got? Dollar euro on the negative, yen pound on the positive. And the pound was 144 plus 144, yen plus 81, euro minus 44, and the dollar minus 181. So this was yesterday, which was Thursday the 3rd of the 12th. So that was the flows for the whole day of yesterday, and we've got an opposed negative driver in the dollar. It's opposed by the euro. So we've got a negative rock in the euro, positive mover in the yen, and a positive secondary driver in the pound. Let's look at the intra-week flows, which are obviously at their most informative because we're at the end of the week, we're Friday. So what have we got here? We've got dollar yen on the negative, and we've got pound euro on the positive, plus 410 on the euro, plus 138 on the pound. The yen is minus 233, and the dollar is minus 315. So this was from Monday the 30th of the 11th to about now. What have we got then? We've got an opposed positive driver, so it's opposed in the euro. It's opposed by the pound, which is the positive rock. We've got a negative mover in the yen and a negative secondary driver in the dollar. So all we need to look at now is the flows so far today, and then we can start talking hopefully some sense. So let's have a look. Yen, euro, pound on the negative. And then we've got obviously the dollar on the positive. So we've got plus 12 for the dollar, minus 2 for the pound, minus 4 for the euro, and minus 6 for the yen. So this is Friday, today, the 4th of the 12th, and that's the open to pretty much now. So what we've got a unopposed positive driver in the dollar, and we've got a negative rock in the pound, negative mover in the euro, and a negative secondary driver in the yen. Right, just get our trade update out of the way. Basically, on the pound trades, which is the only ones we're running 38 trades, of which 19 are short, 19 are long, 20% long bias. We're about 1880 points up at the moment. it's been swinging around. Obviously, the most notable improver has been the pound Kiwi, pound New Zealand dollar, which has started to buck up considerably. So that's where we're at there. So let's try and make some sense of what's been happening then. Right. So yesterday we had the dollar acting as the opposed negative driver. 181 plays 144. So flows were coming out of the dollar and going predominantly into the pound, with some into the yen. With backdoor flows, negative flows in the euro going into the yen and the pound. Right. So we had dollar weakness, pound strength, and a bit of yen strength as well. The yen strength again probably sort of secondary flows in equities, but we'll talk about that later. So far this week then, as I say, this is probably the most instructive the weekly flows are, because it's Friday, we're at the end of the week. So if we look at what's been happening then, so we've got the euro as the opposed positive driver at plus 410. So people, market players have been bidding the euro, and the opposing negative flows have been coming out of the dollar and out of the yen, predominantly out of the dollar, and then the pound has received some opposing positive flows as well, so at plus 138. So we've had euro strength, dollar weakness, and yen to a lesser extent yen weakness through the week so far. Now, so far today, which is the most up-to-date flows we've got, then you've got the dollar acting as the unopposed positive driver. So everybody's at the moment, predominantly from the Asian session, has been bidding the dollar slightly to the detriment of everything else. The main loser has been the yen, then the euro, and then the pound. So although these flows are very, whilst they're recent, they're relatively small changes, and actually what you're really looking at here is the fact that the complexes are being parked, if you like, for want of a better term. In other words, they're being squared off, bearing in mind we've got NFP non-farm payrolls today in the US this afternoon, our time. So there's a parking influence, squaring off and parking, ready for this major data event. Right. So I've already alluded a little bit to what's going on today. So you've got this like historically very volatile event, the NFP. In recent months, it lost a bit of its clout, and now it may start to re-emerge as a driver of volatility. Right. So obviously, if we get poor numbers for the NFP, people will be starting to use this as an indicator of whether we're going to get more or less American stimulus in the package. So that's something to bear in mind. And the other sort of spanner in the works really is as always the ongoing Brexit, which the Brexit negotiations, which are always going down to the wire, literally always, and it's likely we won't get a breakthrough today, and they'll hang it over the weekend. So you're going to get that issue to contend with as well if you're in the markets. Right. So let's get off the fence. Let's try and do an over round. What's going to move the most today and why? So like I say, yesterday we've got dollar weakness. We've had dollar weakness during the week. We've had euro strength during the week, but we've seen the euro come off a little bit yesterday. Today we've got dollar strength again, and yen weakness. But I say these figures are predominantly just parking figures. These are squaring off market figures. So I don't think we need to read too much into this. Normally, as I say, when you get a positive unopposed driver, it's a sign of a top, or the sign of a big ramp up in the dollar in this case. So, well, that could be the case, but bearing in mind of the squaring nature of NFP, then probably carries slightly less weight. So what's likely to happen? Well, given that the Brexit negotiations are likely to dirge on to the 11th hour and keep everybody guessing, the likelihood is that the pound complex is going to be at best neutral and more likely sold off a little bit into the weekend, which is today. So if we've got a weaker pound, and as I say, we're 20% long, we're heavily involved in the pound at the moment. We're not going to change our positions. Our positions are set, but this is on an intraday, shorter term basis we're looking at now. So if we've got a weaker pound, and then the likelihood is, so what we're looking at now, we're looking at dollar, euro, and yen. Right, if you look at the equity markets, they're nicely high, so arguably there's potential for them to come down a little bit, but they don't really give the impression they want to come down much. So the yen is likely to be quite stable, we think, given the equity markets. So the dollar, what's happened with the dollar's been weak. I think we're going to see some neutral to rising situation in the dollar. So we've got opposing pound dollar situation. So that leaves the euro and the yen. The euro has been very high. I think ultimately there's going to be a little bit of taking off some euro strength today. So the likelihood is you're going to get a bit of a drop in the euro and a sort of a neutral situation, a neutral to drop in the yen. So looking at that then, the most likely mover today I think will be the euro dollar, and you've got potential euro weakness with neutral to up complex dollar strength. So in our opinion, the flows are likely to revolve around that sort of scenario. Obviously any information that comes out during the morning sessions will be relevant, but of interest then would be short euro dollar. So short euro dollar would be of particular interest today, given what I've just said. So I hope that helps, and thank you very much.